morning of the 19th day of our journey, we headed north from Bodhgaya towards Nepal, following in the footsteps of the Buddha for our last few days in India. We're Selah and Lloyd, a father-daughter team.
Starting in Delhi, we're taking the long route to Kathmandu by road, rail, and river, going to the wildest places, craziest festivals, tallest mountains, holiest pilgrimage sites, and busiest cities we could find.
We began by driving north to Patna, visiting Vulture Peak and Nalanda along the way. We're making our way to Vulture Peak. There's a ropeway cabin. I'm excited to see what's up there. We're going up. We're really high. At bedtime for months, my dad read me Thich Nhat Hanh's Old Path, White Clouds, a book about the life of the Buddha. And in India, I wanted to experience those areas in real life, walking in the footsteps of the Buddha.
The ropeway took us to the top of the Rajgir hills, where a Japanese peace pagoda marked the summit as a symbol of world peace for all cultures.
We're going to the actual Vulture Peak site now that we went to the stupa up there. It's down there farther. After hiking for about a half hour, we reached Vulture Peak.
Whenever he stayed in Rajgir, the Buddha preferred dwelling on Gijakuta mountain. Because the peak resembled a vulture, it was called Vulture Peak. Vulture Peak is known as being the location for the Heart Sutra, which is chanted throughout the world, especially in East Asia. There's a second cave with gold around it. Buddha, Arhats, and many bodhisattvas stayed and taught here in the caves and on the peak with its distinctive rock formation.
Nalanda University is considered the oldest residential university in the world. The university was founded during the Golden Age of India, about 1,500 years ago, and was home to Nagarjuna and many of India's other preeminent scholars who inspired people from all over Asia.
What do you think?
I like it. It's huge. 8 centuries later, a Central Asian general and his men destroyed Nalanda, burning its great library, so large the fire burned for 3 months, and killing its teachers and students. Today, Nalanda is a World Heritage Site.
We're resting in a hotel in Patna. Pretty much, I think, most of the trip I've had a cough, and now my voice sounds like a... What's it sound like?
A mouse.
Okay, so I sound like a mouse.
I ate something that I shouldn't have, and I've been vomiting and having diarrhea.
We're taking it easy. I just thought I'd show you real quick our, we have a little first aid kit here, and it has stuff like Imodium and Diamox, water purification, hand sanitizer, acetaminophen, antibacterial lotions, and all kinds of things. We're gonna be resting today before we head on.
I hope this banana helps.
Yeah, banana and curds, right? I'm getting my shirt fixed, the button broke, and so this man's helping me out here. Shukriya. I like fixing things. It's nice to see people who can fix things on the street. We would do it ourselves, but we don't have a sewing kit.
On the 20th day, we traveled to Kushinagar, stopping at Vaishali.
For many rainy seasons, the Buddha stayed to teach and meditate at Vaishali, the capital of one of the earliest known republics 2,500 years ago. Defying tradition, Buddha allowed women to become nuns for the first time at Vaishali. The best preserved Ashoka pillar, capped by an Asiatic lion, is found here.
I liked the detailed lion and how the column was whole and standing.
We visited a second peace pagoda here, as well as possibly the oldest known stupa in the world, the Buddha Relic Stupa.
This is a stupa of the remains of the Buddha. It had a casket in it. It isn't in it anymore.
बोध किया सली धातु
We're at the Mahaparinirvana temple where the Buddha passed.
The Buddha looked quietly over the community and then said, "Bhikkhus, listen to what the Tathagata now says. Dharmas are impermanent. If there is birth, there is death. Be diligent in your efforts to attain liberation." The Buddha closed his eyes. He had spoken his last words.
The Buddha passed to nirvana in Kushinagar, and we were fortunate to be at the shrine when a group of pilgrims added a new robe to the statue. I might be able to help with
We are walking to the cremation stupa where the Buddha was cremated, and then his ashes were divided up to make stupas.
the friendly beam.
After they completed their third bow, the pyre was lit. Everyone, bhikkhus and laity alike, knelt down and joined their palms. Venerable Anuruddha invited the bell to sound and led everyone in reciting passages on impermanence, emptiness of self, non-attachment, and liberation. It was a most majestic sound.
The 21st day was our last day in India, and we traveled by bus to the border. We're on a bus to Gorakhpur to get our visas in Nepal.
We'll see what happens. Here's Indian customs.
There's the border.
We're eating while we're getting our visa. It's very casual. We're the only ones coming in this way. I think someone else we met in Varanasi said that this border you couldn't get through because of COVID, but that wasn't the case.
We're in Lumbini. We made it to the gardens, and we're going to the main temple. We just rented bikes and biked over here.
She stopped to rest in the garden of Lumbini. The forest there was filled with flowers and singing birds. Peacocks fanned their splendid tails in the morning light. Admiring an ashok tree in full bloom, the queen walked towards it, when suddenly feeling unsteady, she grabbed a branch of the ashok tree to support her. Just a moment later, still holding the branch, Queen Mahamaya gave birth to a radiant sun. We stayed in Lumbini for 2 nights to recover and to visit the vast site, marking the Buddha's birthplace.
In Lumbini, I really liked all the plants and animals and biking around to the different temples. We're here at the 1000 Buddhas temple.
This is a new temple. You can see it's being built. Choki Nima Rinpoche in Nepal is the abbot who is constructing this, along with all of his monks and craftsmen from all over Nepal. It's pretty impressive.
Oh, all of those
Despite health issues, we enjoyed our journey from Bodhgaya to Lumbini and recovered enough to be ready for our next adventure, walking across a national park full of tigers and other wild creatures. We're approaching an open area and there could be lots of wildlife here.